Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Rising in Love, One Rose Petal at a Time. My name is Vanity Sabelnik, and I will be hosting and holding this beautiful container officially with my first guest, Nadia Pittman. She's a beloved soul sister of mine, and I'm so happy and excited to have her with us today. This vision got inspired through me last year to create a beautiful space to extend the message and the teachings of the many aspects of love, and not just the emotion of love, but the conscious frequency of love. And I wanted to just dive into beautiful, sacred, intimate, authentic, raw, vulnerable conversations with beautiful souls around the world, and just dive into beautiful conversations about how love has found us, has taught us, share about our experiences, both of the human experience and our spiritual, energetic experiences here, and just learn and inspire and teach one another. So that's the gist. And I thank you for being here with us today. And Nadia, thank you very, very, very much for being here with me and birthing this together with me today.
Thanks, Van.
You're so welcome. I love that you have a rose behind you. That balloon is awesome. It's perfect symbolism for this particular podcast. In my work and holding space for people to experience healing in any way, shape, or form, the sacred rose has been a profound medicine for me. And when I envision and I tune into like my heart space, it has always shown itself as a sacred rose heart. And every rose petal for me has represented an aspect of how to love myself and love my fellow brothers and sisters and all life on this planet, no matter how big or small any species. So I love that that is here with us today, just representing.
Yeah.
Nadia, when I tune into your energy, like when I go within and I tune into you, you have been such a dear soul on this path with me and have always taught me, and you exude the teachings of how you can deliberately choose to walk towards or step away from being within your vortex. In other words, I used to call it my Zen space. And you've taught me so much about that. And I can't wait to get into deeper conversation about what the vortex really is and how that has evolved for both of us. And you vouch to see the beauty in all that is, that what surrounds us, what is within us, and what is within everybody else. So you always remind me to see the beauty in everything and to choose to stay in the vibration of love. You always remind me when I happen to get pulled into different directions, so to speak. Like sometimes I'll, just out of interest, or sometimes I get pulled in different directions, and it may not feel like that's like of a vortex vibration, if you will. And you always remind me at the end of the day to remember who I am, and that is love at the end of the day. So yes, that's and you're an adventurer, you're such a visionary. Like I just can't wait to have you share about yourself more and your medicine, and for the world to meet you as well. I love you so much, and I just thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Van. Thanks for having me. And thank you for noticing my roses. They are actually from, this rose here is from my birthday. It was a gift for my sister. It's a big balloon. She just, came in the room with it. It was so fun. And it's still doing pretty good because my birthday was last week. But anyway, and then I have a rose over here as well. It's a rose light. It's actually, I actually collect stained glass lamps, and it's one of my it's one of my stained glass lamps. But thank you so much, Vanity, for having me today and for introducing me that way. That was so beautiful. um, I'm excited to dive into some great conversation with you about our vortex and
All the
um,
things.
all the things, and sort of like the evolutionary process of what that word kind of means for me, and um, different ways that I associate that word vortex. We use the vortex because of uh, a great teacher in the culture, Esther Abraham Hicks, and she's a great teacher for all things staying in connection with God, and she's really been a huge influence in my life and a big way that I approach life. And yeah, so I feel as though I'm a very blessed individual, and I have a lot to be so grateful for. And I owe a lot of this sort of psychology philosophy that comes from those teachings uh, to you know I owe that the blessings in my life to those teachings.
Big
So
tribute to. Shout
yeah,
out Abraham Hicks.
yeah, we're gonna shout her out. We are. Oh, my lights flickered. Did, did anyone else
Like
see
that.
that?
Um, so
She
like we'll
felt us.
definitely
That
do.
was, wait, did you catch that?
I love that. I love those kind of phenomenons.
What? Like, what is it? Okay.
Confirmation from the spirit world. I love that. So before I got into a conversation and Nadia actually showed me the teachings, wisdom of Abraham Hicks, I used to really be deliberate in claiming my Zen state. I adored my Zen state. If I was experiencing anything that was taking me out of a state of like alignment, more confusion, disruptive behavior and energy, things that weren't of like inner peace and tranquility, um, I wanted to not be in that energy. I wanted to walk away from it so I could be in my Zen state. And then Nadia showed me a beautiful segment from Abraham Hicks and it clicked. And I was like, holy heaven, this was the vortex that I've been tapping into, not even realizing it. I just went off of what felt good in my body. It felt good to be in a loving state of consciousness. It felt good to be unified with my fellow brothers and sisters. It felt good to be kind. It felt good to be hopeful. So yes, I would love you, Nadia, to explain to our guests about what is the vortex.
So, well, yeah, the vortex is just encompassing presence, and being in a state of appreciation. In I come from and am surrounded by a lot of Christian culture. And there is, in Christian culture, it's to be still and know, to trust, to be in a state of um, appreciation and uh, love for being your connection, and your connection to God. And uh, a lot of that is appreciation and gratitude go hand in hand. It's the same thing, right? um, so yeah, so I feel like for me, the word vortex has evolved into connection, alignment, um, prayer, meditation. Um, all of this stuff is essentially encompassing the vortex. And when you're there and you are experiencing all of these like beautiful things around you, and you're appreciating nature or a flower or a person that you're with, that's ultimately you being in the vortex and you being in a state of appreciation for where you are in your presence.
There's
So,
that light again.
did it flicker again?
It just got really bright.
Yeah. So I right. So yeah, so
Pure
it
positive energy.
yeah,
Pure positive energy. And it's
yeah,
like,
it's pure positive.
it's has Abraham put it, it's encapsulated, condensed,
Joy.
straight up source.
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Connection to it, and that's the thing too, is a lot of um, you know, there's so many religions that touch on this,
In a
obviously,
different way, in a different language. Yep.
different language. And it's really, like I said, I come from, and I know we didn't talk about this, but I wanted to kind of throw it in there because like I said, I am in Christian culture and I'm surrounded by Christian culture. There's my doggy walking around.
Hi, Witten.
And I feel like there's so much, there's so much in Christianity as well that is um, that says that talks about this connection. It's a deeper, when you look into, um, you look into things that the Bible says, and um, you compare it to things that, other religion. There's always this stillness. There's always this deeper connection when you're not looking into it so literally. And that's this vortex. And when you can really understand it and connect to it, it's really powerful, and it's a beautiful way to live. And yeah, I'm trying to think of other ways to, to sort of talk about it. There's so many ways to get there. So
Yeah, yes. I
we
love that. We are all walking each other home at the end of the day, and we are all taking different paths.
yeah,
We're taking different roads that are all going to lead us to the same place
right,
at the end of the day in our own most divine, perfect way.
right, right.
And it's less about the labels that humanity puts on things. I like in the shamanic energy medicine I work with, uh, it is the unnameable one, the one of 1,000 names, but yet is the unnameable one. So I love that. And it's more, and like when I had a vision, I had asked God, source, the divine, to show me what you are. Just show me. And I literally, like, through my third eye, my vision was taken up like super high, like bullseye, like from directly above, and it just like zoomed out, and I had like a center point of light, and it just went out to every single thing around it, every single thing.
Yeah.
So that was really powerful to me, and it's just yeah, it's a beautiful teaching to be able to find that stillness and be able to hear your inner voice, your heart. Listen from the heart, less of from the mind. Listen and learn from the heart and less from the mind. I love that.
Yes. I remember that connection too that you made with all the light going. I remember when,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Nobody's excluded. I love that about love. Nobody's is excluded from love, from experiencing love.
yeah,
So
we're connected.
yes. So yes, yes to the vortex. I love being in the vortex. And when the more that you connect to your vortex, the more you can notice when you are instantly taken out of it, which is really powerful.
Yes. Yeah. We all, as human beings, that's the other thing too. We are all thrown in and out of this connection all day long. It's always with us, right? It's always there. We always have access to it, but we always have human experiences that will throw us in and out. And I think the practice is, um, the real practice, and it's a lifelong practice, is how to stay in there, and that's something that we all just, we're all working on. We all just
Yeah, we
gotta.
need to gift ourselves those opportunities to do. I know something really powerful for you and me, something that really works and helps us to tap into that stillness and be able to hear our inner guidance system, hear our hearts lead the way and guide us, is tapping into nature and being connected to all that surrounds, all the life force that surrounds. Um, and you are a beautiful professional photographer. That is a huge strength and gift that you have as a visionary. You facilitate amazing, fun, creative photo shoots for people of all walks of life. You honor celebratory moments for people. You and I have had so many fun, amazing adventures in nature, and you always capture those beautiful, sacred moments for me. And as we continue to talk, I would love to share some images of some of your beautiful, epic photography. So yeah, I would love for you to share about that.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, yeah. The photography has like always been something that I loved, and as I get older and evolve, like in my spiritual path and in my professional path, I've really embraced nature, and the natural side and the natural world. My husband and I are very fortunate that we get to travel, and we've seen a lot of the United States, and I'm always with my camera in hand. And for me, nature is um, really a quick place for me to be able to connect and get back um, into a place of love and alignment and connection. And there's so much. And I think a really big point to make is like I was interweaving, different religions and different belief systems and psychologies and philosophies. And I think the nature is that universal way to connect no matter what your belief system is. At the end of the day, we all can connect through being outside and, just experiencing, flowers and birds. And so I really embrace this and just being in the air, like the air, the clouds. Um,
Embracing all the elements.
yeah, embracing all the elements. So yeah, that's definitely something that is huge. Is a huge thing for me.
I want to touch upon something because in my permaculture class, my teacher was stating and like the connection that you're feeling and why it's so easy for so many of us to get to that point of like centeredness and alignment and coherence, connectedness is because we are nature. We are so connected to like we're closer to mushrooms than plants actually as like a species, and that the blood and the chlorophyll are nearly identical other than magnesium being at the center of chlorophyll and iron being the center of our blood. So we are so connected. So when you're tuning into that,
We're closer to mushrooms. We're closer to mushrooms. You said, nice.
yes, we're so connected. We are so connected to the earth. Bacteria, we are made up of so much bacteria and stuff. And,
Right.
Western medicine, they always try to teach to kill all the bacteria. And anyway, that's a whole other
I
conversation.
know.
But
I know.
I'm extremely passionate about, our health and the health of our soil and our gut microbiome too. But I thought that that was beautiful teaching and just like reminder of how connected we are. And the plants and the blooms that you observe and you acknowledge, they are so appreciative of you honoring them in that way. They are priceless gifts for all of us to tune into, and we can extend our appreciation for these priceless gifts every time we acknowledge. Imagine a tree on the city street, like how many times people just walk past that tree and don't acknowledge it.
Mhm.
You know how it's life force. It's a sentient being. It has a consciousness. It gives so much to us for free. It gives us oxygen to breathe. Um, so I try to make it a point to acknowledge, especially when I'm out earthing or walking, my dog Pantera out in the woods or just going for a stroll for fresh air, like you mentioned. I try my best to take the time to be still, place my hands on trees in different spots of the woods and extend my appreciation and gratitude for them. And I thank them for their gifts, that they don't ask for anything back. And I ask them, I say, please extend this love and gratitude to your fellow trees in this space. Allow like your root networking system of intelligence to like just spread this love and appreciation out throughout the woods. So I envision just love, the vibration of love touching every single tree when I pass. And everything is intention. We are powerful beings.
Yeah.
Everything is communicating all the time. Um, so yeah, I wanted to add that. I think that's a beautiful
I
practice and
love
it
it.
just feels good to share love. It just feels good.
Right. No, but it made me laugh a little bit because that's like literally like, the tree hugger mentality, It's like we are we're just hippies, right? But that's, it gets a bad rap sometimes, the tree hugger mentality, but that's I
Think about the gift that tree is giving us. Like,
get it. Yeah.
yeah,
You're just connecting, and nature allows us, I love everything you said. But also nature allows us to slow down, and I think a big part of like we we're so in this fast-paced lifestyle, um, all the time, where we work and we do our everyday things that we have to do, and when you allow yourself to just go out and slow down and look around and appreciate everything around you, um, even if it's like a walk for exercise or a jog or anything like that, being out in nature is amazing, and it does more. There's scientific studies, it does more for our mental health, than so many other things. It's really just it's just all around, um, it's the best. It's us.
we
um,
are really, we are extremely passionate and we adore earthing, the technique of earthing. Would
mhm,
you want to share about that and how that's assisted, or how you've noticed a shift once you put your feet on the actual
yes,
ground? Every
exactly.
time I have a session, a Reiki session, or I do a shamanic illumination, like I'm telling the recipient to gift yourself time in nature and get your feet on the ground.
Yes, get your feet or your hands or any
Yes.
part of your skin like on the ground. And that's even if you touch a tree, tree hugger mentality. If you there is, I mean, a lot of this stuff, obviously, people can say it's taboo or controversial, but there are studies that show these differences, these effects that nature can have. And it's something that I have seen in my own life,
It's working with our electromagnetic field and the current of the earth.
and
We
just
all helping each other out.
yeah, it's just the way you feel. Like people, you go to the beach and you stick your feet in the sand, and that I feel like that's and what happens when you go home that night? You feel great, you feel like relaxed. Like that's I feel like beach vacations, people they're earthing and they don't know it, but uh,
Yeah.
to really do it intentionally, at least for like a few minutes a day, if you can, is has been something that I incorporate into my life. And I've seen differences. I've seen, things in me shift, from that, believe it or not. So it's, uh, I truly, truly believe in it. And, you
It's
know?
worked. It's
It
worked.
works,
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely noticed a shift. And when I'm out there, I see the miracles around me. I go out there and, I'm gifted bird feathers that have rainbow rays on it, you
Oh, I
know?
wanna comment on this. Yes, I wanna comment on this too, because this is a big one. So talking about getting into the vortex, right? That's not just being in nature, but that's a big one. But even like seeing the beauty in everything, seeing miracles in everything. Um, there's so many ways to have that child like wonder, and to, we get so thrown out of that as adults, and in our grind. And so when we are able to see things with that really deep appreciation, that childlike wonder, like they call it childlike wonder because it's before we get all disrupted.
Programmed to say that daydreaming is bad, asking questions is not good. Like, just
Right.
follow the status quo. Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Beginner's
getting
mind, baby.
right. So we just but there's so much beauty to be seen. Like a flower is so miraculous to a child because it's new, it's fresh, it's something that is, something that they're just learning about, so to approach life in that way is really a powerful way to get you into your vortex, get you connected, and I think that's I just wanted to touch on that because
Yeah, no, thank you.
seeing miracles, you say that you see miracles. Yeah, you can go outside and choose to see miracles all day long. You can choose to find 25 four-leaf clovers and a feather with a rainbow on it, and and then like a hawk feather, and then all of a sudden a heron flies over over your head, and then all of a sudden like it rains, and then like a rainbow happens, and like all of this just happens in 5 minutes, and you're like, what is going and what is going on? And that right there has happened to us because like remember
Yep.
when we were going out with COVID? When
Yep. When the Rona was happening, we
yeah,
chose to stay in the eye of our storm where it was calm,
I
cool,
just
and
want to say that
collected.
we lived together. We did live together. We weren't,
Yes.
yes, we were
Yes.
living in the same household.
After I needed to change locations, the energy was getting a little too dense and unsupportive of my evolution. I needed to switch some locations, and Nadia, you and your husband opened up your arms and heart and door to me, and I ended up renting from you and your beautiful space for 2 years. So we were so connected, and we experienced so many beautiful we were just presented so many different opportunities to just tune into those miracles, see the beauty around us, be out in nature. And we chose to do that when some of the outside was crumbling down around us. And yes, there was so many times where we would just go to the park, just trying to earth and stuff. And then where we would stop to talk, we look down and there's four-leaf clovers right there.
Or just
Or
like
like we sit down and read and there's four-leaf clovers right there. Like I literally probably have 150 four-leaf clovers and probably like 35 leaf clover.
all from COVID. All from COVID. And then no, just like silly things that would happen. And I think, going back to we were just kind of playing. We were in this
Yes.
space of play. Nobody was working. No, everybody had to be inside. And it kind of forced us to slow down as a society. And the ones that chose to go out in nature, as Vanity and I did, that had some positive effects because you got to go out and get fresh air. And
That's where the download came through for me to create my light body affirmation meditation.
yeah,
When I was in nature and in that stillness, yeah, you're able to hear the guidance and the wisdom from your sacred heart and from God. You're able to hear that, and Abraham Hicks teaches us that it's like it's our inner being, that pure positive energy and emotion, straight up source.
Yes,
We
God.
are so divine. We are all divine beings. And I love how you have shared with me in the past about like just seeing the divinity in everybody, seeing the loving light in everybody.
Yes, because it is, God is within us all. He's not just, he's not just around us, or God is always, it's taught in the Bible, and God is within us and always with us, and he's with everyone. And so, looking to see, when we're connecting with others, when we're connecting with other people, um, I try to see that. And I try to, see the best in people. I try to see their unique gifts that they like, that they offer. Um, uh, and because we are all extensions, and mirrors for each other. There's so many different ways that you can look at it. Um,
I was taught in my angelic Reiki teachings how like a great analogy that really landed for me was um, thinking of God as the vast ocean. Like we are like the green planet, but like we're a blue planet. We have so much water on this planet. And like if God is the ocean and you take a cup out, you take a scoop of water out of the ocean, does that not mean that this is not God in here? And I look at us as being those cups being taken out,
yeah,
and water holds consciousness. So it's like what we are reflecting back or integrating within our own conscious water creates a whole different frequency and experience. That's why we're all so different. We are all guided on different paths.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're all in it. We're all in it. We all have access to it. God is within all of us. There's so many ways, and there's so many ways that you can say it and access it. And I think, like I said, we get thrown out, of our connection sometimes because of our humanness.
Mm.
But
We're programmed to it's us versus each other.
yeah, we get thrown out of our humanness,
Not us versus each other. It's you versus me
that's the
instead of a we.
right. But that's the thing, is that we are here to, God put us back here to remember, and to keep remembering that we are all connected, that we are, and that we are connected to Him, or we are connected to Source, or that we are connected to God.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I love like having these conversations because I don't necessarily resonate with like God being all masculine, you know. I think God is all, and I think that's like an old program that like we're taught to think of God as like this dude in the sky, and that it doesn't resonate with me at all. But for those that it does, it's all good. Like
it is
it's
good.
so beautiful having the diversity, and I love that and I adore that. And I
Yeah,
think when we tune into our own divinity, our own like Christed God light, love, our own love. God to me is love at the end of the day. Plain and simple. Love is simple, but love is vast, which I love. Love is like limitless potential. And that's like the main intention of this podcast is to just dive into all the many different aspects of that, learning about that. But I feel like when we tune into our own divinity, we are able to see that in others as well. And when you not operate, but like when you live your days in that frequency, you're able to grasp acceptance, all the extensions of love. You're able to grasp forgiveness instantly. You see yourself in that person, you honor their journey.
yeah,
And like, and that's in the whole other thing, which I adore about our sisterhood is that we don't resonate with everything. But at the end of the day, we land on a vibration of love where we're able to just, we create a safe container for each other, and we hold so much empathy for one another, and we're able to have sometimes uncomfortable conversations. But at the end of the day, it's just like I see you, I honor you, I'm witnessing you, and I thank you for this new perspective. We're all students.
Yes. That's it. That's what it comes down to. We are all students. We're all learning. We're all on a path. We're all going to have our successes and our failures. And, sometimes we do have conversations where we're not seeing eye to eye. Um, and I think, on something, and that's just like, humanness too. But yeah, just coming back and just trying to appreciate the person for where they are, and the where they need to go and what they have to go through to.
Yes.
My thing is, um I'm always going to try to bring you back to the vortex. I'm always going to try to say something that, um I don't want you to get thrown out. I don't know.
And I'm like, let me do this. Let
Right.
me practice this.
And
And
say,
we always come back to that, which I love. I so adore that. Like it's no longer uncomfortable to have these conversations with you where I know we may not land on the same spot. And I think it's all about having just being offered perspectives, different perspectives, and honoring our own individual paths. You and I, everybody else that we talk to, like we have to honor the free will of others. Everybody came here to experience an individual experience process. We all have our own little gifts that we came here to share with the world. We
mhm.
all find them at different parts of our lives. So yeah, I adore that. And I thank you for all those times we dive into those conversations. And I just learned so much. And it is like, it helps me dissolve my ego. Sometimes you and I, we have beautiful in-depth conversations, and then at the end we're like we don't know anything. So and
That's
then we
it.
just remind ourselves to just be silent sometimes and
Yes.
just listen and validate the other person too.
Yes. Huge, huge point. Huge point. Yep. The being able to, yeah, just sometimes we just have to be the ones to listen. That's it. That's a big one. And I think we all tend to want to talk a lot, and we all want to offer our 2 cents or whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, sometimes it is our lesson that we should be the one to listen and just let someone go through their journey, and be the one to just let them go through their process and talk to us about it, because like I said, we all want to contribute and we all want to talk about our own experiences, but sometimes that's what being a friend is just, and a student is just listening.
Mhm.
So that's a big one.
Yeah, I love honoring my leader, my teacher, and my student and my beginner's minds. We're here to learn. It's earth school. It's
Yeah.
earth school. We're learning so much wherever you're here. And as far as like the experiences that sometimes are very turbulent and are really uncomfortable, um, it's it's important to remind ourselves that when we honor our love for ourselves, we we deliberately decide to not stay there, not stay in the gallows, not stay in the victimhood, not stay in the places that make us feel like shit, because we love ourselves enough not to do that to ourselves. But we honor the process. We honor the emotions that are coming up. What do they say? You have to feel it to heal it, kind of thing.
Yes.
So for me, what's really strong for me, is that self-love is a profound, powerful, it's the best, most powerful frequency there is, if that makes sense. It creates worlds within ourselves and with each other. So I feel like the more that people love themselves And this is another thing that goes back to the Abraham teachings that really landed for me, is that like we're taught to do for others, to give. You know where I'm getting with this. It's like when you're connected to your I am presence, your source, sometimes you don't tolerate certain things. You don't do things just to please others. And sometimes people that don't understand that yet, they didn't learn that lesson yet, they'll look at you like you're selfish. They'll look like you're stuck up because you're not doing for them. You're not pleasing me. You're
Right.
pleasing yourself. But that's our worth. That's a huge teaching in this life, our self-worth. So yeah, that came through when you were talking about that. I think it's I think that's the most profound, powerful frequency, the frequency of self-love, because I feel like when you embody that, you're able to express that. You have to embody it first. You can't, like love, we're not, no one's excluded from love and experiencing love, but at the end of the day, like the more authentically you love yourself, the more you're going to become into a vibrational match for those other people that love you the same way. That
Exactly.
makes sense.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's really just remembering, um, you know, your connection, and that you're always self love. To me, self love is like knowing that you're always um, you're always loved and you're always supported and you're always, it's a trust thing, and that just the way that I get, well, it's embracing our humanness too. That's, if we're going to talk about it that way too, of the self-love of embracing our humanness. It's an appreciation for uh, our self and our bodies and our minds and our hearts, um, and down to the vessel. A lot of people think the self-love can be, we tend to think it's like a physical thing, and it can be, where you have self-love for your body and the way that it moves and the things that you're able to do, and an appreciation and a gratefulness um, to God for providing you with all the blessings that you have.
Like
Um,
the gift of health is keeping me alive today.
yes, exactly. I'm so grateful that little things. That's another thing too, is the appreciation of little things. I'm so grateful that my legs and my feet work. That I'm able to go take beautiful walks in nature. That I'm able to, um, work and do things to that bring me joy in this life. Um,
When you tap into that, you tap into speaking to the cells of your beautiful, divine, perfect body in any state that it is. Our bodies are the greatest technology there is on a whole journey. I'm going to do a future episode about this, like the love of our bodies and our health. Um, but I wanted to share this with you because it does connect in to what you're saying. Today I had a business meeting, and one of my team members, they had sent me this message, and she said that after our call she received this in her email, and it says every cell in your body has a direct relationship with creative life force, and each cell is independently responding. When you feel joy, all the circuits are open and the life force of God force can be fully received. When you feel guilt or blame or fear or anger, the circuits are hindered and the life force cannot flow as effectively. Physical experience is about monitoring those circuits and keeping them as open as possible. The cells know what to do. They are summoning the energy. And I said, that's so beautiful. That reminds me of the teachings of Abraham Hicks. And she said, it is.
it is
So,
my girl, my
my girl.
girl.
So, yeah,
Yes. What? Wait, what class was that?
This was my one of my businesses. One of my team
Yeah,
members, she
yeah,
had sent me that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love
And it
it.
was such a beautiful reminder because on this journey of, physical, whether we're going through like a like a physical health challenge, which is something that I signed up to experience in this lifetime with the type 1 diabetes, like, you go through trials and tribulations and triumphs, and you go through it until you find that perfect regimen and protocol that works for you. And it's all a process. So it's honoring the human experience of going through the trials and tribulations, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
But all right, so I do have a question for you,
Okay.
and I think I'm going to ask every guest this, just a heads up for future guests. I want
Yeah.
to know, Nadia, if you could give the listeners today a tip on how you are yourself going to um, choose love today, and how are you going to choose love in a way that you're going to walk the walk and talk the talk, like for for your higher vision of love and what it's done for you? How are you going to embrace love today? And a little tip and inspiring um you know encouragement to listeners here today.
I think it's all about appreciation. I think we have to in order to there's like we said in this conversation earlier, there's a million ways to get to love, to get to connection, to get to source, and um to find, our way there. So my way is to find appreciation in the mundane, in the everyday, in the little things, in um, you know, because it's easy to appreciate things when everything's going perfect, when you're on vacation, or um, you know, you're just like not having a lot to do, or you can quiet your mind and try to get there. No, but the practice of practicing love is really about appreciating those small things and the small victories that you have, small um, just elements in your home. um, I think that yeah, I think that there's so much to appreciate in life, and we just really have the tendency to kind of like lean it like what we're afraid of, or what worries us, or um, what we have to do next. And I think a big way for me to approach love and to get into love every day is um, appreciating like this, like my little so
Yes, I love that. And I love that you said appreciation. I do my best to remind myself to operate from a state of mind and heart coherence. And the quickest way that you can get into that state of consciousness is tuning into the feelings of appreciation, of gratitude. Gratitude was coming through really strong when you were speaking about the appreciation, when you can touch into and tap into feeling compassion and care. Those
mm,
are like the four pillars of mind and heart coherence. And when your mind and heart are coherent, when you're going through those turbulent experiences, sometimes it's able to not get so triggered, and it's more accessible to not have your nervous system completely fry out, and you're able to stay in the present moment.
yeah, yes, that's it.
Appreciation.
Appreciation,
I
appreciate.
need to tap into appreciation today and to look within, look around, and see what you can truly be appreciated. What do you appreciative of? Does that make sense how I said that?
Yeah, that I got it. Yeah,
You got it.
that was
What am I appreciative of? Does that
that's
make sense?
yeah. What am I appreciating today?
What am I appreciating today?
So much. So simple. It could be so simple. It's like sometimes we just get annoyed, and like about things in life. We get thrown out. We get through. That's it. we're getting, something happens, our boss pisses us off or something, and like we just like get thrown out, and then all of a sudden we're like, all right, but I appreciate that, um, I'm able to be here, I'm able to work, today's payday, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna, and
The
and
higher perspective.
the higher perspective and the gratitude. And what happens is it's the law of attraction. We didn't talk about law of attraction, but that was like the first thing in my journey, in my I've been, studying this. Well, yes, that you could call it studying. I've
Yeah.
been studying this stuff since I was 23, and I think um, law of attraction was one of the first things to come into my awareness back then, and I was like hooked, But that was like the thing, was that it was when you put that appreciation out, or when you have that appreciation, you start to get more of that. That's the law of attraction. What you put out, you get back.
Yeah, you appreciate, the universe gets you more things to appreciate.
Correct.
And
Correct.
it goes the other way too. If
Yeah.
you're putting out a frequency of,
Disgust of
you're going to find more things to be disgusted about.
yes,
It's just how it is.
it
So yeah,
is
I love how, within that vortex of encapsulated straight up source of
yeah.
love,
I
that's when the master manifestations happen more effortlessly without you needing to extend so much energy to get it going.
right.
And that's when you see the miracles happening.
Right.
Yeah.
I've
So
been doing
beautiful.
this for so long. Like I said, and I said this in the beginning of the conversation, and I'll end with it too, is that I've been doing this for so long, and I would not have this core belief system, this core belief in my life, and these practices in my life, if I did not see them work over and over and over again. And
Aho.
yeah, that's it. It's one of those things where it's like, I got my rose. I just turned 38. And doing this since I was 23, and I have not abandoned this thought philosophy, because um the thought philosophy of being connected, because it's been it works. It be working
It be working.
in my life, and I see it. And that's why, people that same thing for other, people that have any belief system that they have, or sometimes people abandon belief systems. There's people that go into abandonment of Christianity because it's gets so convoluted, it gets so twisted, and not, people aren't really understanding the core, of the core principles of um what Jesus tried to teach us. And so um you know
Christ consciousness is definitely something I cherish. Yeah, the unity consciousness is extremely important to me. And working with that golden Christed light of forgiveness, of healing, of compassion, of all the mind and heart coherence, and of the miracles that are being able to take place when you tap into a state of consciousness such as that. Um, it just feels good to me. It's like if something is working for you, that feels good in your body and that you feel isn't restricting you in any way, and it feels very expansive, then continue to do it.
exactly.
And know that things change. Some things just change. Sometimes you come to something and then you go to something else, then you come back to something and then you go to like it's
It's the
enjoy
student.
the process, enjoy the journey.
Yes, the journey of being a student.
Yes. All right, Nadia, thank you for that tip. I'm going to definitely tap into a lot of things that I can be appreciative of today. And it reminds me of the sign that I
What
have
is
it
it?
hanging.
Wait, when you talk, hold on. What was it? Because I didn't hear you.
It says, when you seek beauty in all people and of all things, you will not only find it, you will become it. So that's a reminder that I see every day. And it's
Yes.
not always easy. It's not always easy to do, but when you can tap into your own inner divinity, and then you know that we're all connected, we're all mirrors, we're all teaching each other this the lesson and experience of life itself, you're able to see the beauty in other people. Because as human beings, we are not perfect, but all the imperfections can be perfect, and they're all a way to embrace coming back to a vibrational frequency of love. So I will end with that. And I would love for you, Nadia, to share how people can connect with you, find you. If you are in the central New Jersey area and want to work with Nadia, you can go to her handles on Instagram that she's going to share, and you can look up all her beautiful photography. She does sell her photography. They are beautiful. And previously in this conversation, in this video, there were some images of some of her beautiful photography and some of the shoots that we have done. So I hope you enjoyed those. But yes, I would love for you to share how they can connect with you and just enjoy your beautiful epic photography and the beauty that you capture on all of your beautiful adventures around the world.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I have two Instagrams because I'm just that girl. But I have two. So my personal account is at Nadia __ Pitt with two T's, Pitt. And then you can find my photography account at Nadia Pittman Photography. And that's my professional account. They are they're linked. If you find one, you'll find the other.
And do you have a Facebook photography page?
I don't right now,
Okay.
but yeah, because I don't know what's happening with Facebook. If it's dwindling, I don't know. But
You are on Facebook though, if somebody doesn't have Instagram, and they can reach you there. Two
yeah,
T's in Pittman.
yeah, it's a thing. Two T's is a thing. So anyway, yeah. So Vanity, I just wanted to thank you for this conversation and for having me and
Thank
for
you for being my first guest. I adore this. I cherish this. I enjoyed our conversation. We both hope that something has been inspired within you of choosing love today. And we thank you for spending time with us. If you did enjoy this conversation, or if anything landed with you, any comments, you can leave them below. And please, if you enjoyed this conversation and want to tune in for more future episodes and delving into all the many aspects and extensions of love itself, I invite you to subscribe and hit that notification. Thank you so much. Wishing you a beautiful, blessed, and abundant day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.